I'm back. The bucket full of Christmas gifts. But no, going back to the Jews and Hitler. You know, like everyone wants to think every Jew he killed went to heaven and he went to hell and it's jokes on Hitler. You know, but if you just put humanity back in the animal kingdom or something, some would act violent and some, more motherly, instinctive types. And it just seems like with Hitler, there was the universe experiencing evil to the worst degree in what not makes it okay, but made it possible for, evil to get that evil was one day it was going to end. There was let's see how far this can go type thing. That's a hard theory to accept, which is why I can't. It surprises me that other people so just take this godless approach. Nothing matters. I don't necessarily believe that there's a hell that, fling bag of souls into, but it brings out interesting philosophical questions of, what's the point of all of it then? Why is there this coherent good? One thing you always think, like you see something awful happens in the news. Awful, awful things. And the reason it resonates with us, it's not usually because we necessarily think it. I think most people do, but it's because we've seen it before. And it always baffled me is we don't see it more, like why don't more people just lose it and go out and do something heinous? Just fucking debowel someone, pull their fucking, I won't get into, but the things that people can do and choose not to, I think we get lucky, but sometimes the things people choose to do make the most horrendous impacts in our life. And that's the hard thing to accept. But, that's why I'm out here. Doing the best thing I can do as a fucking youthful kid. Probably a better way to describe that, but, I'm out here enjoying nature and also helping it out. And that'd be cool. Maybe if this gets in the hands of some other, not even kids, just anybody. You have a canyon near your house, feel free to just go out, take arms, grab I don't know what it's called, but get one of these things I have. But yeah, and so you do get to these interesting questions of why would God let that happen? Is God, some people refer to God as the Big Bang, the initial driving force that started all of life, and it creates the God aspect of it. I almost said it. Is he conscious of itself? But is it conscious of itself? It's such a natural human thing to do. We gave God a gender. Not that it even fucking matters, but it's just funny. Like, there's in my philosophy class I took. Yeah, I know. I took a philosophy class, so everything I say is credible, and without question, you should believe it. But no, it was a interesting class, and it was hard to pay attention, I'll be honest, but what I got out of it was things like this. So that he tells a story, and astronaut goes to space, and he's gone. And the whole time while he's gone, the citizens are just wondering, what's he going to see? Is he going to see God? Oh, is God in space? And the astronaut comes back, and they're like, did you meet God? How is he? Who is he? They keep saying he. And he responds, oh, she's black. It was funny when the professor told this thing, there was a more, I don't want to say extremist, but more hardcore liberal person in this class who happened to be a person of color. And her reaction, she thought that the astronaut was saying that God is a black woman, and who knows. But what he was saying is, by attaching the he to it, the he, we don't know what it is, but why are we making it masculine? And so he was referring to black of space. He didn't see God, he saw space. And it made him realize God is nothing in some way. Why isn't it a she? So he was just trying to make them turn their thinking a bit. But, you know, she got her 5 minutes to talk about why that's cool. And it's cool, she thinks it's cool, so... But, you know, it was things like that that stuck out to me. Okay, what is this? I'll go up here. What is this so-called nothing, God of nothing? Oh, there's a bottle. And it brings you back to this basic thing, you know, is there something greater than us? And if so, is it conscious like we are? Is there a God? And again, the problem with that he thing that a lot of religions take to, especially young kids, I myself believed at one point that God was a man with white robes and a sandal just floating somewhere. He decided to snap his fingers one day and make everything. And you can admire the innocence of it, but it's not a realistic view at the end of the day. And I'm not discrediting. There we go. I'm not discrediting religion at all. Actually, I think it gets more slander than it deserves. Because if you break it down to its philosophical roots, it's a pretty interesting concept. A lot of them. There's this thing, the 7 blind mice. It's a story. 7 blind mice go and try and figure out what this object is. And so the master sends them out and they come back and the master tells, but they go to the elephant. I'm butchering this. It's an elephant. The 7 blind mice go to this elephant and each one of it feels a different part of its body. So one of it feels its tail. He's like, oh, it's a curly tail, must be a pig. One of it feels its trunk. He's like, wow, it's like a smooth surface and like a rope. I don't know, must be a snake. And they all get different ideas of what it could be by the different parts of it. And they go back and the master asks them to tell them what they think it is. And they all say something different. And they're baffled because like, how can only one of us be right? And the master says, well, this is a nice trail. He doesn't say that. He says, you guys are actually all right. You know, all the mice are confused. What do you mean? He's like, you know, you all helped piece together the puzzle. And by everyone discovering a different part, you all piece together and create the bigger picture. And they all realize it's the elephant, you know? I think they realize it, but... And so it's kind of a Buddhist take, or Hindu maybe, on religion that any belief is not necessarily good, because there's some bad beliefs, but any belief in a higher form can help everyone figure out what's going on a bit more. But then you get problems, you know, when certain things claim they have a better outlook, that they're just straight up right, 100% correct. And you can't approach things with such certainty. You know, I wish I could be certain in everything I'm saying right now, but it's all speculation. Oh, again, a million things I want to say. My mind's starting to race now with thoughts. I'll go up there another day, but that is a cool little place to hide. No trash. The trash doesn't make it very far up, which is good. And people throwing it aren't going to be the ones walking the 10 meters up the unstable surface, you know. You know, I hope. It's hard not to blame people, but I don't. You know, everyone wants a day where they can not care and throw some things off a side of a hill. I get it. It's just when a lot of people feel the need to do it for no particular reason, then it just kind of becomes a thing to do, regardless of how the night goes. I just don't know. But yeah, so let's go back to that. Conscious God. Is God conscious of everything he created? Or is it more of that hipster psychedelic view of God isn't conscious, he's just existing, and we are the conscious version of himself, which is why, you know, we're all God, all one, whatever they say, which I think is cool. Again, an Alan Watts thing kind of goes back to that. God is the sea from which we came, and we are just a raindrop, and one day we will return to the sea and create ripples. But, you know, what is this pool we're returning to? Heard some rustling in the bushes. Someone's trying to steal my ideas.